back to the show. This is The Mental Breakdown. I'm your host, Joey Velez. Today, we're going to be talking about something that every high performer experiences at some point, which is performance anxiety. Whether you're an athlete stepping onto the field, or a musician walking onto stage, or even getting ready to have a big presentation at work, you've probably felt it before. Your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, your breathing changes, maybe your mind starts asking, what happens if I mess this up? Most people immediately these feelings as bad, right? They think anxiety is the enemy. But what if it's not? Right? Let's start with what performance anxiety actually is. It's your body's natural response to a situation that matters. Your brain recognizes that something important is about to happen, and it activates your stress response. Adrenaline is then released, your heart pumps faster, blood flows to your muscles, and your senses become sharper. In other words, your body is getting you prepared to perform. The problem isn't the physiological response itself. The problem is how we interpret that physiological response. Research has consistently shown that athletes and performers who interpret pre-performance nerves as excitement or readiness tend to perform better than those who view those same sensations as signs that something is wrong. The physical symptoms may be identical, but the mindset is completely different. So think about it this way. Before a championship game, an Olympic final, some sort of evaluation, would you really want to feel absolutely nothing? The answer is probably not. A complete lack of arousal often leads to complacency, slow reaction time, and even reduced focus. On the other hand, too much anxiety can overwhelm us. We become distracted by our thoughts, we overanalyze simple skills, or even start focusing on outcomes instead of what the execution should be. So performance exists in that sweet spot. Not too little activation and not too much. The idea has been around psychology for over a century through what's called the Yerkes-Dodson law. It suggests that moderate levels of physiological arousal often produce the best performance. The optimal level isn't the same for everybody. Some people perform better when they're calm, others thrive when they're highly energized. Now, the key is learning what works for you. So, how do we stop treating anxiety like an enemy? The first step is to change your self-talk. Instead of saying, I'm nervous, try saying, I'm ready. Instead of asking, what if I fail, ask, what do I need to execute right now? Those small language shifts help your brain interpret that same physical sensations just a little bit differently. Second is about focusing on what you can control. High performers don't eliminate uncertainty, they prepare for it. They trust their training, rely on their routines, and focus on process goals instead of outcome goals. You can't control whether you win the competition or receive that promotion, but you can control your preparation, your breathing, your attention, and your response to adversity. Lastly, remember that confidence isn't the absence of anxiety. Confidence is believing you can perform even when anxiety is present. Some of the greatest people in the world, greatest athletes, surgeons, things like that, still experience pre-performance nerves. The difference is they don't waste energy fighting those feelings. They accept them and use them as information and move forward regardless. So here's a challenge for you this week. The next time you feel performance anxiety before something important, don't ask yourself, how do I get rid of this? Instead, ask yourself, how can I use this? Because maybe that racing heart isn't a warning sign. Maybe it's your body reminding you that what you're about to do actually matters. And that's not something to fear, that's something to embrace. So remember, pressure is inevitable, but your response to pressure is trainable. And that's what I have for you all today. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to download, rate, review, share the podcast with your families and friends. Let them know that, hey, you were thinking about them. You feel like this information might help them. It can even help with your golf game. I know it helps my golf game out for sure. But yeah, doing what you can to kind of make sure you handle those nerves in a more effective way. So that's what I have for y'all today. Don't forget, today's a great day to make an impact on someone's life. All right, y'all. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.